Hello my dears, welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's me Anna with you here, and today we are on a lovely Benidorm's beach. As you can see, there are not as many people already today, even though it's morning time. It's almost 10 a.m. So let's start, as always, talking about the situation. What's going on in our country, what the situation is like, how many cases, what kind of restrictions do we have as for the day of today, Monday. So the situation is actually getting better and better. During the weekend, we do not have numbers for yesterday's day, but for Saturday we do have them, and they actually say that the situation is still getting a lot better. And for the last 24 hours, the index has dropped below 260. We don't know the exact number just yet, but I'm hoping today in the evening to hear an amazing news that Spain is officially out of the extreme risk and just in a high one. Or maybe if it's not today, then definitely tomorrow. So everything is still definitely getting a lot better than it was before. The good news is also that some more countries are taking out Spain out of the extreme risk list, where they do not recommend their citizens and people living there to travel. For example, Germany has also declared that all Spain is officially out of this red, or blacklist, how do you want to call it, doesn't matter. It's officially out of this list of risks. So it's quite possible that a lot of German people also that did not have their holidays just yet will be coming right now in autumn, which is also good for us. In general, every day we have approximately between 5 something and 7,000 cases here in Spain average, which is just best news ever, because we used to have I remember the times when we used to have 58,000 a day, and it was truly unbelievable numbers when the situation was getting worse and when the cases started to grow again, this fifth already wave in a row. And then we started to dropping 40, 30, 20, 10, and now it's already less than 10,000. So we are actually very happy that things are getting better, especially for when autumn comes. The colder months will come shortly, in a month or so, and a lot of people will start gathering inside, for which we definitely need the situation to be stabilized and a lot better if you want to avoid more restrictions here in our region and in general in all the country. Also want to say about the night lockdown and night curfew. 6th of September, which is going to be the end of this week, beginning of the other, is the last day. As for now, it's the last day of the lockdown in our Valencian region, night lockdown, which is a night curfew. So it means that if during this week the government will not put one more week, postpone it, then 6th of September will officially night curfew be over, exactly when the school year starts, exactly when people just return to their normal lives, and there's not as much tourism as it was before. The night curfew will be officially over, probably. This is what the president of our region says, but we do not know it for sure. We need to wait up until towards Thursday, Friday this week probably, and then we will know for sure what will be happening. This is basically the situation right now. There are also night curfews in Catalonia and in a lot of other different regions, but they will be finishing in some more days, 10th, 13th, and etc. And also want to say that on the 31st of August, which was supposed to be actually yesterday, Sunday, but since it was Sunday, they've postponed it towards the 31st of August, which will be the official date when the limitations, as for now, for the traveling from third countries, it does not include UK, okay? You know that UK always had and always will have probably special relationship with Spain, which means that Spain will always allow UK to travel easier. Not the same as if it would be in European Union, but still a lot easier than other countries that were not in European Union or not in the Schengen zone. So all the other third countries, you know that the entry was forbidden unless you had some specific requirements, like the vaccination that we accept here in European Union, if you live here permanently, like if you have here some family, if you need to go by work, studies, and etc. And if the country was in a green list, then these people could travel. If the country was not in the green list and none of these points were matching, then people just as tourists, they were not able to travel. So all these restrictions right now are up until this Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Government has to decide what to do from now on. The general idea was to allow people to travel from 1st of September with any kind of vaccine and any kind of proof, but we don't know if that's going to be the case. We need to wait today and tomorrow. And as soon as the official document will be published, then we will know for sure what's going to be happening with these countries that were not able to travel to Spain as tourists. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you is what is happening in our region. Our region is still growing, people are coming. It's true that there are not many people, not as much as they were, like you can see right now here. Before, even when I was filming here like at 9 a.m. in the morning, there were a lot of people on the first line. It was already like booked, but right now there are a lot of gaps. It's true that more people are coming towards the beginning of Levante Beach, which this is kind of beginning middle point already, so there are not as many here still, but I can see the streets, and I'm going to show it to you at the end of the video, that there are definitely a lot less people. I know that today hotels like Dynastic, for example, they start to have from 500 that they used to have during the weekend and all the previous weeks, they started having like 150. So the difference is quite big, but this is because all families with children, they already have returned or are almost returning to their home because people need to buy things for their children, prepare everything for the new school year. And I see right now, like basically the majority of people who are walking here down the beach and doing some sports or just walking, they are adults or like with grown-up children or just like adults with babies, for example, you know. So you can definitely see a change already here in our lovely area. Everything else is working perfectly fine. All the bars and restaurants are opening up, they are functioning, they're working, people are going there. They kind of lost this sense of protection and like, I would not say protection, I would say like more of a fear. People have lost this feeling because they've seen that the situation is getting better, they're getting vaccinated actively, and they've just seen that they need to coexist, as I've said already in the previous videos, and they're not afraid to go out, of course with all the necessary precautions, but people are not afraid to go out anymore. They're not afraid to like have some kind of a drink outside or a meal outside either. So yeah, everything kind of went back to normal. Of course, in terms of work, some people are still not working, some people still need to find a job or are waiting to return to their previous job position. But it's just a matter of time and everything will be approximately the same as it was before. Maybe even better, let's stay positive. The next news, very interesting one, is for those who are living here, are planning to live here or will be coming here and are planning to spend a lot of money. Okay, so because what is going on with this? Our anti-fraud agency, they've launched a law which basically says that you cannot pay more than 1,000 euros in cash to someone. This is in case that person is, let's say, if you are a particular, like if you are just a person, not an owner of a business or a professional, but the other side of the transaction is, which means that you are just a normal person, you want to purchase something or pay for a service, and you pay to a professional or like any kind of business, right? So in this case, you will not be able to pay more than 1,000 euros in cash. If the price is more than that, you need to pay by a bank card or make a bank transfer. Before, how it worked, before you were allowed to pay up until 2,499 euros in cash, and the rest had to be in card, or like the general amount had to be in card. But right now it's not going to be like this anymore, because this agency, they want to know where your money is coming from. I know a lot of people will get angry right now and will say, why they should know where this money is coming from? It's from my bank account, or it's from this way, that way, like it's from there, anywhere, like why should they be knowing it? Well, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of here, it was like a lot of fraud, a lot of black money, like in terms of illegal money going on. People who are receiving money without like putting the anti-fraud agency, like in general tax agency, in the notification that they have this money, so they don't pay any taxes from these money. So this is what's happening. They just are tired of all this, I think, and this is why they are putting this new law. It's true that if you are like a particular person, between person and person, you can do it. Of course, there is some specific limit. I think right now it will be like 10,000 euros more or less. But once again, who will check it if you are between like a person and not any kind of businesses in between? Like, who will check that as well, right? So the main point is that if you're coming here for holidays, if you're coming to buy something and you will spend more than 1,000 euros for it, just for your information, that the place where you will pay might say to you, and will say to you, because they don't need any problems, definitely, that's for sure, that you can only pay up to 1,000 euros in cash. What they can offer you is two options: either pay everything in a bank card, or you can, for example, like leave 1,000 euros in cash, and then the rest of it you can pay by a bank card or bank like transfer, for example. So this is how it's going to be, and everything is just to control people's money. Everything is just to control where this money, like where they're coming from, if it's like legal business, illegal business, can you actually show where it's coming from or not? And they said there's going to be a fine of 25% of the total amount that you paid illegally. If the person chooses to pay more than 1,000 euros, like let's say I want to pay in cash 3,000, I know I cannot do it, but I'm still paying it, okay? So these 3,000 euros, 25% will be the amount of fine that will be needed to pay to the government in terms of the taxes, because you've violated the law that they have, the anti-fraud law. So this is another news that you need to take into consideration when you're coming here to Spain, and in case you will spend more than 1,000 euros at once. The next news is for those who are coming with a car here to Spain, or who live here and use a car every now and then. We have, you know that we have the biggest, which is called Autopista, which is like a speedway, highway, I don't know how you call it, but like it's the road that's supposed to be paid. Okay, like a speedway where you drive 120 maximum kilometers per hour. So I'm going to show you on the screen what this road was. This is AP7, the most popular road here in our area, that goes from France towards south. It finishes somewhere around Murcia. You can see it on a map here. And then it starts from Malaga once again, which is like a very, very short point there. Starts from Malaga and then ends up at the end. And this is like the end point of it. Okay, you can see it here, which is Guadiaro. So the biggest, like one of the points of this AP7 was already free of charge. Some people asked me about it as well, if it's paid or not. So if you're going like in the region of Murcia, you need to pay like 2-3 euros, like approximately 3 euros for that point. But once you hit Alicante and you go towards Tarragona, like that piece is free from 2019. Then the point of like Catalonia area up until France, that like biggest chunk like of AP7, that one was still paid, and you had to pay like a lot of money to pass through there. Like only in Catalonia, when you go like 10 euros 95 cents to go to Barcelona from here. And if you go from Barcelona towards France, you needed to pay, apart from these 10 euros, like 25.75, which is like a lot of money. Especially people who are living there like permanently, they needed to spend like a bunch of money to get there where they need it inside of Catalonia if they use this paid road. But the best news is that starting from this Wednesday, 1st of September, this road will be free already. So if we want to go, like, let's say from here, from Alicante towards France by car, and we use AP7, we will not need to pay not even a penny, not even 1 cent to pass through this road, which is just amazing because people used to spend a lot on it. And this is why a lot of people were not willing to travel with a car, because they knew that AP7 is quite expensive treat. But the only points that will be still paid is this one in Malaga, like in Andalusia, and this point of Murcia. They expire, I think, in 2040 and 2046. So it's still a long way, like 20 years more to go for these like pieces of AP7 to become free of charge. But at least the biggest part of AP7 is already free. So those of you who want to travel and you're planning to use this highway, AP7, so that you know that from 1st of September, the most part of it will be free to use. These are all the news for today. And what about the Spanish weather? Well, as you can see right now, there are some clouds in the sky, and in front of me there are also some clouds. This is why I'm without a hat, I'm without sunglasses, and I can stay here and enjoy the weather. Although I must say that the humidity is rising up, so even if you are here, like, it's getting slightly difficult to breathe because of the humidity in the air. But in general, this is what the situation will be in a lot of regions today. There might be some storm and some rain here in Valencian region, but it should not be raining here, at least in this area. It should be rain in Calpe, might be raining slightly in Alicante, Denia, Valencia, south of Catalonia, but not more than that, as you can see on this map once again. What's going to be happening tomorrow? Tomorrow, this is what we're waiting for. Tomorrow there's going to be some more rain coming up, slightly more than today, and there's going to be a lot of clouds in the sky, which I must say we missed that a little bit, because each day with extreme sunshine is also slightly tiring. But this type of weather is just the best thing to finish last summer days. However, on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, it's going to be raining a lot in a lot of different parts in Spain, and probably here as well. So the end of summer is kind of bittersweet, I would say, for some people, because they wanted to enjoy like last summer days, and now it will be raining. But it's a typical weather. In beginning of September, there are usually a few days of light rain to welcome the autumn to our world. But it's okay. As I've said, we are happy about it. We are happy that we can breathe a little bit and that we can relax from the sunshine slightly, because it's been a little bit too much this year, especially at the end of August with the heat wave and all the sun going on. As for the temperatures are normal once again. Finally, I can say that. And they're probably almost like 90%, maybe even more, that there's not going to be any kind of heat wave anymore this year up until like next year's summer. Temperatures today are here in our area and Alicante 29 degrees, which is just perfect temperature for us. In Barcelona 25, Granada 34, Malaga and Marbella 31, Sevilla 34, Madrid 30, Murcia 34. As you can see, more than 34 degrees, it's not going to be happening in Spain right now. Balearic Islands 29, Canarian Islands 27 to 28, and Valencia 27 degrees today. The water is still very, very nice, very warm, so it's just ideal time to have a swim in our lovely Mediterranean Sea. These were all the news for today, my dears. I hope you enjoyed watching them and you got to know something useful for you guys. And now I will show you how Benidorm Beach looks like today. Let's go!